Chapter 1. The city had always been a cage of steel and screeching tires, but on the morning of Leo's 16th birthday, the cage started screaming back. It began as a low hum beneath his sneakers. Leo sat on a rusted bench in Central Square, trying to ignore the exhaust fumes of idling buses. He reached into his pocket to pull out his phone, but before his fingers could touch the screen, a sound like a physical blow hit his eardrums. It wasn't the roar of an engine or the blare of a horn. It was a deep, resonant groan that vibrated through the concrete pavement. He gasped, dropping his phone. The screen cracked across the glass, but Leo barely noticed. The sound grew louder, splitting into thousands of overlapping whispers. "Too tight," a raspy voice complained near his left ear. "The iron eats my toes." Leo spun around. No one was there. The only thing behind his bench was a miserable, stunted oak tree, its roots strangled by a heavy iron grate set into the sidewalk. "They strangle us," another voice sighed, this one coming from a row of potted ficus plants outside a corporate office across the street. No rain, no sky, only the grey dust. Leo pressed his palms against his ears, but the voices didn't fade. They bypasses his eardrums entirely, echoing directly inside his mind. Every blade of grass fighting through the cracks in the asphalt, every weed clinging to the brick walls, and every suffocating tree along the avenue was weeping, shouting, and mourning. The sheer volume of their collective memory threatened to crush him. He fell to his knees, his vision blurring, as the concrete world around him seemed to pulse with a hidden green current. "Quiet," Leo choked out, his own voice sounding small and fragile against the roar of the flora. "Please, just be quiet." An echo, a new voice boomed. This voice didn't whisper or complain. It vibrated with the weight of centuries, deep and solid as bedrock. An unawakened chord has finally struck. The chaotic whispers of the city plants instantly silenced themselves, bowing to the authority of the new sound. Leo looked up, blinking away tears of sensory overload. Standing at the edge of the square was a figure that shouldn't have existed. It stood nearly 7 feet tall, draped in a heavy, tattered cloak. But as the wind caught the fabric, Leo realized it wasn't cloth at all. The figure's body was a living tapestry of woven willow roots, thick briars, and packed black earth. Its face was a smooth knot of ancient oak, with 2 burning embers of pale green light serving as eyes. The concrete sidewalk beneath the creature's feet groaned as thick, pale rootlets burst through the cement, anchoring it to the earth. The human pedestrians in the square walked right past the entity, completely blind to its presence. A businessman brushed close enough to touch the root cloak, but simply shivered and muttered something about a sudden draft before moving on. The creature fixed its burning green gaze directly on Leo. It raised a hand made of twisted, thorny vines and pointed a finger at him. "Your resonance is tearing this city apart, child," the entity said, its voice like grinding tectonic plates. "You hear the world, and the world hears you. If you stay, your untamed voice will shatter every green thing in this valley." "Who are you?" Leo managed to stand, his legs shaking. "What is happening to me?" "I am the warden of the threshold," the creature replied, stepping forward. The scent of damp moss and freshly turned soil filled the exhaust-choked air. "And you are an echo of the verdancy. Your training is already centuries late. Come, the Canopy Academy awaits, and the forest does not like to be kept waiting." The warden extended its wooden hand. As Leo hesitated, he looked back at the concrete jungle that had been his home. For the first time, he noticed a faint, luminous green thread connecting his own chest to the dying oak tree behind the bench. The tree was leaning toward him, its leaves rustling in a silent plea for rescue. Leo took a deep breath, stepped away from his broken phone, and placed his hand into the warden's grip of living wood. The world went green, and the city vanished.